Welcome back, comic book collectors and enthusiasts. My name's Brandon. You're watching M.O.N.Comics. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. Last week was a week of firsts for me in the YouTube world, and they were all great things. I'm still reeling from them. It just seemed like so much content, creation, interaction with people in the community, and it was amazing. I started by giving my first interview to someone who was Anthony, who cosplays as the Galvarino Predator, and we announced a giveaway that we are giving away these two books, Predator 1 in a CGC 8.5 and Predator Issue 2 in a CGC 9.0. So the giveaway is still going on until the 21st. Watch the previous video to this one. It shows you how you can get in on it. Basically subscribe to my channel. In that video, leaving a hashtag #IfItBleeds, and then going and following Anthony's Instagram. You'll see a picture like this and just comment on it, and that'll get you in the giveaway. I'll put an update right here of how many are entered so far. Not a ton, but for everyone who comments "If It Bleeds" in the comment section of that last video, we are donating $1 to the American Stroke Association. So even if you don't want to jump through all the hoops and work a little bit to get a chance to win 2 great slabs, at least please consider just leaving that hashtag so we can try to raise money for a good cause. So the night after I hosted my first interview, I was interviewed for the first time by Alan, the comic collector geek, and I'll put his page right here. Alan's just a really, really good human. He's from Canada, and he has one of, if not the best collections I've ever seen on camera. I haven't got to see it in person yet. Hopefully someday. Coming for you, Alan. Golden Age, Silver Age. His Golden Age is just drool-worthy. Pre-code horror. You can think of it. He's probably got it. And his knowledge is a wellspring of comics. So he interviewed me about what got me into YouTube, what I collect, why I collect. We talked movies, we talked everything. And he was just a really fun time to talk with. And after talking for a bit, we ended the interview, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing a live stream kind of game with the immortal Bigby Shack and a bunch of other guys, and I'm going to tag every one of the guys that have channels down here in the description because I was going in new. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what this game was, and I didn't know any of these guys. And as the comic book community usually does on YouTube, they welcomed me right in. And their game was really fun. It was basically like a comic poker game. So someone would give a category such as black covers, and you had a couple minutes, sometimes 5, to pick out 5 covers that you thought had really good black covers. I won the first challenge, so I got to pick the next category, which I picked monsters. So everyone had to pick 5 covers that embodied monsters. And we went around, and there was a lot of busting chops about why people picked the covers they did, or why they weren't really in that category or were in that category. It was a blast. I was on with them for like over 2.5 hours, and basically once the category starts and people show off their books, the immortal Bigby Shack is the host. He lets everyone show their stuff, and then the chat is able to vote on who they think show the best books. Alan invited me. Thank you, Alan. Thanks to everyone in that stream. Papa Wheelie, TM Nerdy, S. Vaughn, Immortal Bigby Shack himself, Bleak, just everyone. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting one, but I'm going to tag in the description anyways. I hope I get to come back and play that game again because it was really fun. I'd never seen anything like it, and they were just stand-up guys. And Alan, thank you for the interview. You know, I'm a Small Potatoes channel, but I'm doing this because I love it, and I'm doing it more so, too, to meet people exactly like you and everyone else I've got to hang out with. So thanks for introducing me to that other group of comic people, too. So Monday, I interviewed. Tuesday, got interviewed. Friday, did a game with some other content creators. Then Saturday, I actually had gotten in the mail the winnings for the hashtag comic book shout out movement started by my good friend Brian, aka Bigby McFly, the comic guy. Brian has really helped me a lot with some stuff in YouTube, technicality stuff, and as part of this challenge, anytime you shout out someone and talk about a channel that you like, you are put into a randomizer to win custom art that either Brian or his friend Travis does, and both of them are very talented artists, as you'll see in a moment. Anyone who's thinking about doing YouTube, anyone it's kind of on the fence or doesn't know how to get started, this is a great way to get started. You can talk about a channel that you really enjoy watching. You could talk about how they might influence you or how you collect the exact opposite. It's just an awesome way to get into YouTube. So you got nothing to lose and you got a lot to gain. And let me show you what I mean. So besides the custom art that Brian sent me, he's included two books which are awesome. The first one being Weapon Plus, which is another version of Man-Thing, in which he obviously uses military weapons, Gatling gun, rocket launcher. He's got a submachine gun on his back. So really cool. Again, he only ever promised some custom art. So this was just add-ons, and I'm very grateful. And so when I saw this, I was like, wow, that's really cool. But as if that wasn't enough, he sent me a book that he told me about that I had been hunting, and I hadn't pulled the trigger because he was watching my videos, because he's a good guy and that's what he does. Annual Blue Devil #1. First unofficial appearance of the Justice League Dark. You got Man-Bat, you got Creeper, a Blue Devil, you got Black Orchid in the background, Etrigan, and it's cool because as this, I got a chance to read this, and as the stories go on, it kind of gives you like a little background of how the Black Orchid became the Black Orchid, how Etrigan became Etrigan, how Creeper became Creeper, and then it just kind of all comes together in the end with the foe they're fighting, and I can't remember who the foe is. But at one point, one of them says, hey, we should form a supernatural Justice League. And I'll actually put that panel right here. And it is so cool. It was such a nice, thoughtful thing for Brian to do. So 2 books on top of a sweet Secret Invasion poster. This is the original one that was sent to comic book shops because he used to own 2 shops in 2008. But just a really cool piece of artwork. So something else that he threw in that I appreciate. But the pièce de résistance, if you will, I wanted Man-Thing. And then he or someone mentioned, why is he going to ask for Man-Thing fighting Predator? And I was like, yes, I would like that. So Brian was able to draw Predator fighting Man-Thing. And it is just so beautiful. And I'm going to get it framed, and it's going to go in between my Predator heads up here. And he's just such a talented artist. I won't be surprised if we see him do some actual comic art someday. He's going to make connections. People are going to recognize his skill and talent, and it is just beautiful. And it's got the trade dress for Man-Thing and Predator, and of course, Brian, as per your suggestion, I put the handwritten note in the background. It means a lot to me, man. Hashtag comic book shout out. Get on YouTube. If you're a YouTuber, make a video about someone. If you're not a YouTuber and thinking about doing it, get on and make a video about someone. And just like that, you can be getting a sweet piece of custom art. So Brian, Travis, thank you for all you're doing. I can't wait to see what the culmination is like in November when we do a really big sweet giveaway. So thank you very much. Now, I've been doing Monmail since I started the channel, which is almost 6 months ago. It's crazy. I'm almost a year in. And Monmail has a nice ring to it. But what I found is, as I'm ordering books and keeping them in my short box to use in videos and show what I'm picking up, it's really hard to keep up with dates and stuff. And I asked in a backstage of one of the streams, I asked M.O.N.Comics, I asked Mr. Aikens from What's on the Comic Rack, and Bigby McFly, how could I change it up a bit? And Bigby had a really great suggestion of, why don't you just do the Monmail Mighty 5 of the week? So from here on out, that idea is adopted. So basically each week, I'm just going to show 5 books that I got through the mail at some point, tell why I'm collecting them, what kind of keys they are, their importance, and just show what I'm collecting within 5 books. And everyone knows I'm going after Man-Thing run, I'm going after Fantastic Four, I'm picking up some horror stuff, so I'm kind of all over the place, but this just lets me show the books I'm getting. I'm going to call it Monmail Mighty 5, and the 4th slot will always be a Fantastic Four. So the Fantastic Four spot will be to the Fantastic Four, because I am constantly working on that run. Kind of slowing down, but I do have enough ammo to keep it going for a couple weeks. So the first book I chose is a book that I wanted for reasons it's very obvious once you see it, and there's not much talk of it on the internet. It's very hard to find stuff, but I did find some information. But it is Challenge of the Unknown, number 53 from 1966. Now, Challenge of the Unknown was a series started at DC when Jack Kirby was working over there. Features four men who don't have superpowers. They just have superior intellect, martial arts skills, and they're fighting some big villains, such as Dimension Man here. So Kirby started this series, then he moved to Marvel. Well, in April 1st of 1966, this famous cover gets published by Marvel. Fantastic Four 49. If This Be Doomsday. Beautiful, probably one of my favorite covers, if not my favorite comic covers. Well, October 1966, this comic cover comes out. For the uninitiated, for people that might be new to comics, this is what's known as a cover swipe. So homages weren't being done back then. A cover swipe would be defined as the intentional copying of a cover, panel, or page without the initial creator's permission. So the artist, Bob Brown, did this cover months after Kirby released this one. And you can see No pun intended. These aren't X-Men books, but I can say uncanny. The resemblances are uncanny. So the characters are running. Let me just hold this one up. The characters are running opposite way. The enemy, or big bad, which in this case is Dimension Man, is facing the opposite way as Galactus, but the hands are very much the same. The tone is very much the same. So as soon as I was digging on the interwebs and found this and its connection to this, I had to go out and buy it. So this was an eBay buy, and I mean, it's low grade. It's probably like a 2.5. It's Silver Age, but it was still only $5. This one, not $5. Going to cost you a little more to get. But finding this to pair with this and make the story, I'd like to get one graded. Not this one particularly. I think there's one on eBay that I might pull the trigger on. But Alan interviewed me and he saw this. He's like, right away, I'm going out and get it. And he found it for, I think, like $2 plus shipping. So they're out there. It's a really cool story. I love this book. Challenge of the Unknown 53, cover swipe from FF49 in the collection. This next book features an obscure villain, and as a fan of obscure villains, this one might be on the top. Definitely top 3. It is Tales to Astonish 53 from 1963. I got this from, as I'm going through, I also started this channel talking about how I get stuff through the mail. And it's obviously I do a lot of whatnot shopping, eBay, Facebook, even sometimes YouTube claim sales. I started to really refine and see who has great comics that grade at appropriate grades or closest to, and also sell at a fair price and reliably ship package. And one of these people that I always find myself going back to on whatnot is Shrinkies. These guys always really display their comics very fairly. They talk about them, the price, and they're always a very fair price. This one, although super low grade and beat up, was like $5-10 for Silver Age, 1963. So I was very happy to get it. So thanks to Shrinkies. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back. So I'm going to start really refining who I'm getting a lot of my books from online, if they aren't a trade or a Facebook group, really, or Instagram even. Just really try to focus on that to help anyone else that might be wanting to shop online, maybe a little weary about buying or even trading. I'm going to try to help you out as much as I can with what I found, who I found, and how I do it. So this was 1963, cover art by Jack Kirby, interior art by Dick Ayers, and the story was by Stan Lee. So, Porcupine. Love this villain. Alexander Gentry was a scientist for the U.S. Army, and he thought it would be a great idea to make a suit in imitation of a porcupine, and the quills would be able to shoot projectiles, quills, gases, flames, paralysis-causing pellets. I just think this is a quirky, cool character. His outfit reminds me of Batman '89 when Knox and Vicky Vale stumble into Batman or Bruce Wayne's armory and they find King of the Wicker People. This is what it reminds me of. So I don't care that it's really beat up and it was cheap. I just wanted a porcupine cover, and this hits the spot. So Tales to Astonish 53, super cool. This next book is a run that I'm inadvertently attached to now because since I picked up his first appearance in Marvel Spotlight 2, Werewolf by Night, he's had a special place in my heart since the Disney Plus series that I'm a nut about and Man-Thing. But I'm starting to, now when I see comic sales, if I see the books, I'm starting to take a closer look. I know I'm going all over the place with some of my collecting stuff, but collect what you love, you'll never be unhappy, and I'm so happy to have this book. Werewolf by Night, number 7. It is from 1973. I got this from a Facebook sale. It is in just beautiful condition. It's awesome. So written by Len Wein and cover art by Mike Plug, who did the Werewolf by Night art through the series. And I really like his style too. I actually used this in one of my thumbnails when I got the Marvel Spotlight 2, which is Werewolf by Night's first appearance. So this is a really nice, pretty high grade copy. I think it was fine. It's definitely above mid grade, but I'm trying to get more, and I think I'm about to work out a trade deal with someone to net me some more Werewolf by Night. Just love the character Jack Russell. I just really love monsters. So Werewolf by Night, number 7, had to come into the collection. The Fantastic Four spot. Yes, a dedicated spot where people can expect to see Fantastic Four in one spot of my video and not be shocked. I know. This one I got through a trade with my buddy Joseph in a Facebook group. I think I talked before about how it was great when you start to meet people that you trade with. And, he reached out one day and said, hey, I have a Fantastic Four number 28. And he said, "Are you interested?" I said, "I absolutely am." So this is when the X-Men and the Fantastic Four come together to fight against the Puppet Master, the Mad Thinker, and the Awesome Android. This is from 1961, Jack Kirby cover and Stan Lee story. This is just a really cool, beautiful, early X-Men. Look at Cyclops' beam. You got the whole team, Beast jumping through. And another great part about this comic that I found out is in the letter column, I guess in a previous, one of the previous comics, I'm not sure which one, they actually called Bruce Banner Bob. So Stan Lee announces in this comic that his name is actually Robert Bruce Banner. So I thought that was really cool. I looked it up. It's pretty sweet in the book. So Fantastic Four 28, not my lowest issue, but it's a really nice copy of it, and I love the cover art for it with a big X-Men panel and all the villains right there. So scratch another one off the list, Fantastic Four 28. So last week when I was streaming, doing the live opening for the hashtag comic book shoutout challenge, Bigby McFly had invited a couple other guests, M.O.N.Comics, who's just a wonderful young man who is just, I really love his videos and his collecting style and his charisma on camera. And another guy is everyone's favorite math teacher. I'm talking about Mr. Aikens of What's on the Comic Wrap. Well, a while back, Mr. Aikens sent me some X Factor books, and I got his address, and I sent him some cool books back that I thought he'd like. Byrne notice. John Byrne is one of, if not his probably favorite artist. So I sent him a Sweet Galactic cover. I just wanted to send it and say thanks for sending those books. Well, the other day, I get 2 packages in the mail, and I'm only expecting one, and as a comic collector, you're like, why do I have 2 packages coming? I didn't think I ordered 2. I could have, But one was from Mr. Aikens, and it was more X Factor books, which I was very happy to add to the collection. I've already got them sorted and logged and stored away. Sorry I don't get to show those off, maybe another time. But in the middle, he sandwiched something that was very kind, very thoughtful, and a very important book to me. He did handwritten letters. I'm a sucker for him. This means a lot, Mr. Aikens. Thank you for the handwritten letters and the kind words. But he did send an Adventure into Fear number 11. This is a very significant book in many ways to me personally and the comic world. So this is from 1972. Adventures into Fear 10 was him, a Man-Thing after Savage Tales, the first time he was coming into main stories. And Neil Adams' cover actually for this one. So that's even a bonus right there. And Steve Gerber, who is the writer for Man-Thing, he did the writing inside. So big points of this one. First appearance, Jennifer Kale. First appearance, Nexus of Realities, which I'm putting my money on it right now. We're going to see come into the Marvel Universe now that we've entered the multiverse, and there's different implications there. I think we're going to see Man-Thing down there guarding it because that's his job. But probably most importantly, and I'm going to put the panel right here, is when Gerber comes up with the infamous tagline, "Whatever knows fear burns at the Man-Thing's touch." And I got to open this book and read. I love comics as a big part of history too. So I got to open this book. I got to read that little part, and I'm going to read the whole book now, but just love that cover. And now I've got 3 of the Adventure in Fear that have Man-Thing. I might go for the whole run or just the ones that have Man-Thing stories in them, but really cool. Mr. Aikens, you're a scholar and a gentleman, and that's just true because you're from the South as a gentleman and you're a scholarly teacher. So I can't wait to do some more trades with you. This was above and beyond, too kind. Again, the comic book community just keeps on rolling with their kindness. So again, I think it's not something mystical like karma, as Mike from Lunch Money said. It's just be nice and nice things will happen to you. So thanks, Mr. Aikens. I really appreciate it. So, a lot to unpack this week. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time watching, please consider subbing to my channel, hitting that like button, even hitting the bell notifications. I'm putting up more shorts lately. By your support, this helps me reach more subscribers, which will help me do more giveaways. I love to do giveaways. I love giving out big books, small books, anything into collectors' hands. So the more support and love I get from you, the more I am able to do. So thank you again, everyone. Thanks to everyone that had me on streams last week. Alan, Immortal Biggie Shack, Bigby McFly for hosting my unboxing. Thanks to Anthony for coming by for the interview. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to hang out more. And until next time, stay safe, have fun this weekend, and keep reading those comics.